I want to talk about something that warmed my heart, which was the way that you took charge of your narrative of motherhood.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's like you knew your people and you were like, look, I'm telling you what I did for myself, for my life. So two things. What was it like, sharing that news with the public that you're a mother, that you had done a surrogate and all of that? And was there any point that you were worried about, because you're a public figure, in this country where everything has stigma, everything. Were you worried as to how to announce this? And did you say to myself, instead of these people to shame me for what is not bad, I will show them how it's done?
That's exactly, you just hit the nail on the head, because for me, it was something I wanted to keep close to my heart and just keep it safe, keep it, tight. But of course, people will try to drag your leg outside. So obviously, somebody tried to drag my leg outside.
Right.
The people that we are talking about, your family people. So I said, no, this is my narrative. You're not going to tell it for me. I'll tell my story.
Yeah.
So I told my story, irrespective of how anybody else was going to feel, because this is my life. It's not your life. Do your, I do me. Do yours, whatever works for you. Yeah. If you're able to carry 15 children, I'm happy for you. If I'm unable to carry it, and I'm able to carry it this way, thanks to God. Wherever God positions me, I'm very grateful for it. Yeah. I'm not somebody who is like, oh, it has to be this or that. No, nothing is do or die for me.
Yeah.
If I get it, thanks to God. If I don't get it, it was not for me.
Yeah.
So I move right along.
Along with it, yeah. Two questions on that. One, what is the greatest lesson that motherhood has taught you? But also, why did you choose surrogacy in a country? So yes, it's your life and you did it like a boss. But coming back to the human part of it, what was the process? Why did you choose a surrogate?
I chose a surrogate because, I had a couple of miscarriages, and I just got tired of trying, and I didn't want to try. I don't have a husband, so I'm like, I want a child for myself. Thankfully, my eggs are good, so I did that.
Yeah, I even saw an interview where you were like, you even have more eggs. So when you decide.
Yeah, when I decide.
Yeah. What's the greatest lesson that motherhood has taught you? What's the thing? Because when I ask motherhood, I see your smile. What's the most beautiful thing about being a mother?
Oh man, everything is so beautiful from the look on her face if you're going out and you just come back and then she sees you, how she just lights up and just. The hugs, it's just really sweet. And now watching her grow, and she's talking now. She's identifying objects. She's 1 A, B, C,
How old is she now?
She's barely 2.
Right.
She'll be 2 in a couple of weeks,
right.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, why didn't I do this since?
Yeah, why didn't you? I love
do this since?
Why didn't you do this? And that's the thing, because society and all this nonsense can rob people of a joy that they can get.
If you allow them. People
don't
understand. You live this life for yourself.
Yeah.
It's just you that matters. You can't be the judge of your own life and my life at the same time, no.
You can't be the judge of your own life.
And my own life at the same time. No, this is my own life.
Yeah.
I would, so at the end of the day, you know what hurts, you know how it feels.
Yeah.
And the truth is, people don't really care.
Really?
People don't really care.
Yes. It's just after the cruise, after the gist, they've moved on.
They don't really care. If you care enough for yourself, that's enough. Don't expect people to care. Everybody has their own problems to deal with. People have issues.
People have issues.
And
sometimes we personalize it because we think they are really thinking about you, but really they're not thinking about themselves.
They're just venting, using their own frustrations and venting it out on you. Perhaps they're not happy, but the courage you have, they don't have, or one thing, just do you.
The courage you have, they don't have sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so if you now lose your own courage.
Because you're listening to them. You sit on the same seats with them.
Somebody did who did there? You did it, you got it. You end up just sitting with them.
Sitting with them, yes. And that's basically what they want.
And there's the illness you've talked about in public, the
adenomyosis.
Yes.
Done and dusted. We don't go back dredging this. Still news.
Yeah. But you did a show on Everyday Life TV after that.
Yes, with Medical Hospital. Yes.
Talking about, I hate the word, but that's the word infertility.
Yes.
I hate that word. There's something about it that it's like barrenness. It's like
it's kinda.
Right. It's certainly kinder than barrenness.
It is kinder than. Jeez. But because you can't use barren for a guy, so
Yes,
infertility
exactly.
is,
Yes.
and then it's more medical.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why. So that's the word. I don't like it, but that's the word. And also, but you know, for you, when you spoke about it then, for many people, when this is, you know, Nigeria is a country defined by shame. You know, shame collides everywhere. Shame that you've not found a husband. Shame that you are divorced.
Shame that you can't get a miracle.
Shame that you pray that you didn't get a miracle. Shame that you shared your testimony and then you are going to go back and say the testimony was. It's shame everywhere. And it's shame. It's shame. But
you cannot shame the shameless, so I choose to be shameless.
Yes. So there was no overthinking when you talked about this. There was no process. Was there?
When you say process,
was there a time when you felt shame about talking about it?
It's not shame. Inadequacy.
Explain that.
I felt inadequate as a woman.
Yeah.
Because
the messaging you've been getting from as a woman.
I felt inadequate. So every time it was mentioned, I would remember. You know, so that's what it was. But shame, I'm not ashamed.
I mean, I'm taking it for granted that your husband has stood by you throughout all of that. Exactly.
No.
It's just.
But is that not the way it's supposed to be? Because when people say, "Oh, we need to really be thankful for,"
no, there's not. I don't. No. So, like, what's happened?
What really happened? This is
what did I do?
It's us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You walk in there as it's a partnership. What comes? Good, bad, ugly. It's
That's
us.
what it is.
Just let it be.
Is adoption a thing you would do?
You never say never. But right now, Clifford and I are dog parents.
Right. Yeah. 2018 was one of the
2019.
2019 was one of the lowest.
Yeah.
Why?
So 2019 was a tough year. It was a seminal moment in my life because that was the year that we were running for office. And at the same time, my wife and I were struggling at that point to have a child.
That was 2019. Right?
Yeah, so we had started towards the end of 2018 and entering 2019, we'd started doing IVF treatments. You know, we had done our second one, which, as you know, is a very difficult process, especially for the woman. Yeah. But when you love the woman, it becomes difficult even for you because you don't know how to help. I mean, you see her body go through so much pain and turmoil and difficulty. And you as a man, you're also running for office. So the one thing you don't have is quality time. And that's the one thing you need when your wife is going through all of that. It's just time to spend, to be there. And so you're being pulled in a million different directions and everybody is just taking from you and taking, whether it's the community or people that are close to you or just or family. Like you're just, it feels like you're being emptied on a daily basis. Like you're giving everything you have and it's not enough. And then we lost twins because we were pregnant with twins and we lost them. And then we tried again and didn't. It was just, our relationship was strained. It was a tough time emotionally for both of us. It was a tough time spiritually. It was a tough time physically. It was a tough time financially because the decision to run for office up until 2018, I think I was probably the most endorsed, musician or entertainer in the country. I had endorsement deals that ran for years. So I had to give up all, and that's why it was a hard decision to make because I had to give up what was a major source of income. At home, you're struggling. We lost our twins. It was, 2019 was a tough year. Yeah. And I think that for us, and for me specifically, but for Susu and I.
So I know there is God helping you, but specifically, especially for people who are going through a thing like that, what is the thing that helps you actually go through experience like that? especially when you say it strains the relationship. So this is the person that stands for you. You're the person that stands for this person. I'm talking about you and your wife. And then at this moment when you're going through the toughest challenges, professionally, emotionally, the two of you are strained as well. Not naturally, because there's so much pressure. How do you go through that? What helps you survive that? And all of this in the public glare.
Right. What helps you survive? You know, at the risk of sounding preachy, honestly, it's the grace of God. You know, if you picture, there's an analogy that I learned from Pastor Tony Rapu that I think is amazing. If you picture, you know, two people, and they're trying to make this work, but there's so much in here. There's loss, there's pain, there's baggage from before. There's just all kinds of things in between these two places sometimes. And I think that's the challenge with us in today's generation, is what we keep trying to make this work and it doesn't work. But if you put a point up here and both people say, okay, I'm going to be intentional about drawing closer to God, invariably you become closer together. And that's really what happened for us. It was just, we both said, listen, individually we have to get closer to God and we have to hold on to God, who was the source, the rock that our relationship was built on. Because what we're trying to show is that, hey guys, 4 or 5 years down the line, the road hasn't been easy, but it's been worth it and it's beautiful.
What made you choose IVF? Did you first try to get pregnant and it didn't work, or you just knew from the start that you had to do IVF?
So I did try, and when I tried, it didn't work. Naturally, yeah. And I just got tired of seeing the pregnancy test be negative. That alone is like traumatizing, because you feel pregnant, like, oh yeah, maybe I'm pregnant. You get excited, and then it's like, okay, I'm not pregnant actually. That's great.
But it wasn't a difficult decision to decide on IVF.
Well, it was a costly decision, is what I would say, because my husband, you were talking about like $40,000 back then, you know, like, then the second one, I think the second one was like 30,000. I did a failed IVF last year.
You did a third IVF?
A second. So
IVF.
I got pregnant on the first IVF.
Right.
Cycle.
Right.
The second one failed. And I actually wanted to stand in front of a car and just let the car hit me.
Really?
PCOS, wow. I really hated myself then, because I felt like I traveled all the way to Los Angeles to get pregnant. And I was so sure, because I got pregnant the first time. So I was like, yeah, hello, I'm the poster girl for IVF. I always get pregnant. And I remember I was sitting with my cousin-in-law at the restaurant, and they called me, and the nurse was like, hi, Stephanie. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to be giving you this bad news. And I was like, she was like, yeah, I'm so sorry, it's negative. I was like, okay. Oh gosh, Chude, you got me. I'm so mad. She was like, it's negative. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, but it's negative, like how? Like, oh. So somebody said it's negative and you're still asking how. I was like, no, I mean, like, what happened?
Yeah.
I asked her, did the baby not like me? Like, what did I do wrong? What do you mean? Like, I can't go back home with no baby. How can I go back to Lagos not pregnant? You know, my husband is doing politics. You know, he's not around. I'm like, this is our, happiness. We're gonna have, my daughter wants a sibling. What do you mean? I'm not getting back on that flight and with no baby. Yeah. She's like, oh, I'm so. I called my friend. I said, oh, I don't think the child liked me. It didn't stay. Wow. And she was like, she's a doctor. I said, so where is it? She's like, what? I was like, where's the baby? Because did they not put it inside? Where is it? Why is it not there? And she said, oh no, it disintegrates. Like the cells just, yeah. So I literally walked out of the restaurant and I was like, I think this is Melrose Avenue. And I was like, I think this car should just hit me. Because then, because what am I doing? What was this? Like, what did I do all of this for? Yeah. What did I spend all this money, all this time, all this energy, all this pain? Oh, I started bleeding. Yeah, they told me, so it's okay. At this period, they gave me advance
notice. So you're ready?
Yeah, but at least I had a period. That was the last time I had a period up until
this year in February. Then I ended up in hospital.
Again?
Yeah, I ended up in hospital because I was bleeding too much.
Too much, right.
I passed out, yeah.
You passed out?
Yeah.